Hello, fellow pen lovers and stationery enthusiasts. It's Christy here, Snarky Wordsworth over on Instagram and Reddit. And as you can see, I have another pen unboxing for you today. It just landed about 30 minutes ago. I'm incredibly excited, as I am always. But this one in particular, I'd been waffling about this pen for ages and ages and ages, but I finally ordered it. This is actually the very last outstanding 2022 order that I had. And I'm really looking forward to seeing it in person. I've seen tons of videos and photographs on Instagram of it, and it just is calling my name. I couldn't resist. Anyway, very excited. So hopefully it lives up to all of my expectations. I think it will. So let's go ahead and get started. It's like the Ark of the Covenant in Indiana Jones, and it's like opening, and there should be like glowing lights and hopefully less of the death in the movie, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so here is the little pamphlet that comes with all of their pen packages. And as usual, it comes with the 2 black ink cartridges. And here it is. I'll take it out of the plastic in just a minute. I love it already. It's so pretty. I know that it's not going to pick up very well, but it's got these gorgeous teeny tiny little gold sparkles within the resin, and it's just this gorgeous pale green. So for anyone who is not familiar, this is Sailor's fairy tale line, and this is in the color Dragon Palace. And I definitely wanted from the very get-go a pen called Dragon Palace. Who wouldn't? And I believe all of the fairy tale line comes in the medium fine 14 karat gold nib. And does not come with a converter, which I already knew. I have converters. I always have a couple extra on hand just in case, like now. But it really is just such a pretty pen. I honestly can't get over the color. I'm so unbelievably pleased with that. So let me clear this away. Okay, now that I have my lovely Dragon Palace Sailor pen here for you, let's go over some very quick specs. As mentioned, it is a medium fine 14 karat gold nib. According to Goulet pens, it is 123.3 millimeters closed and 142.1 millimeters posted. And to kind of put that in perspective, so this is, of course, the Sailor Dragon Palace. And this is my largest pen. This is the Benu Euphoria, and it's in the caramel latte colorway. And it is significantly larger. It is 150 millimeters long capped and 180.8 millimeters posted. So, you know, the Dragon Palace is definitely not a large pen. If we want to compare this guy to some of the other Sailors, so here's the Dragon Palace, and here it is with the 1911S. The 1911S runs at 135 millimeters closed and then 147 millimeters posted. So it's a tiny bit larger, but that makes sense since this has the flat finial and bottom, whereas this one has the pointed cigar-y style going on for it. The Pro Color 500 pretty much mirrors the 1911, and of course they all tilt. That's how it goes. But these two essentially mirror each other. This one just happens to be a steel nib as opposed to the gold. And then the one that's probably most directly, I don't know, comparable to the Dragon Palace in my collection is the Pro Gear Slim Mini. Look at how cute that is. This is from their Morocco series, and this is in the Ire Gray. And the Mini runs at 109.3 millimeters closed and 136.4 millimeters once it's posted. And since these guys are the closest family, let's put that to the side. You can kind of see. I'm not even going to try and get those guys to play ball. But look, so smaller than your 1911 standards. It would certainly be significantly smaller than the large or the King of Pen size. But, you know, it's got a good about a centimeter or so on the Mini. So hopefully that kind of gives you a good baseline for size. I have kind of like small to medium sized hands, and so far it fits really nicely. So let me uncap. I can definitely write with it unposted. I hate writing with unposted pens because it makes me anxious. Let me see. Once I post the cap, see that, and it feels really good. The weight is really nicely balanced with the pen posted. So I definitely think that it works very well for people who like to do that. You can see, oh, it's just so pretty. Okay, let me just let that slide by because it's just not going to stay. So open and posted, there aren't really any surprises. The Mini sort of becomes essentially the same size. You've got at this point, the Dragon Palace has only a couple millimeters on the Mini once it's posted. Yes. But so you can see sort of the size comparison, how they go when they're all posted. These are all, I really think, great sizes for pens. I find them very, very comfortable. So I have no doubt that this lovely fairy tale line is going to fit right in. And even from here, so I will say Sailor does such a good job with their glitter resins. It's not like garish or anything. This one is even more subtle than the Stardust in the Pro Color, though I do absolutely adore the sparkle in the Pro Color. But every little angle, you get a different little piece of gold glitter popping up in this one, and it's just so pretty. I really wish that the glitter would show up as well on camera as it does in real life, but it's just lovely. It really is just lovely. I'm super duper excited about this one. I am going to go ahead and ink this lovely little pen up, and then we will do a bit of a writing sample. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, I am back, and honestly, inking up this pen was a little bit more of an ordeal than I assumed it was going to be. And that's mainly because I had to swap out my inks. I initially had intended to put Vinta Inks Sirena in this because Sirena, mermaid scales, dragon scales, how perfect would that be? Also, Sirena is an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous ink in a less fine nib. I did a quick squiggle just to make sure that the ink was running through the pen, and for a second I kind of thought, is this pen not working? And it absolutely is working. It's just medium fine Sailor is way, way, way too fine for that ink. It's just too pale of a beautiful, beautiful green, and it just doesn't happen. So I kind of flipped through my coloring to see what else I would be happy with in here. And I finally decided on this one, which is Ferris Wheel Press's Spruce County Post. Now, this is not one of their shimmer or super shady inks. This is just a really rich, deep green. I did not test it out after inking this. This is a dark green. It should show up on the page. So let's hope that that works out just fine. I can't imagine that it won't. So let's go ahead and jump into the writing test. Oh, see, that's pretty. I like it. I like it. Okay, so you can see it lays down a very, very thin line, even as a medium fine nib, but you can see a little bit of shading, and I'm actually kind of surprised that I can see as much shading as I do within this. So this is the Sailor Dragon Palace using the Ferris Press's Spruce County Post. It works lovely. I'm not sure if you could pick up on the feedback that does come through, but that's quite characteristic of Sailor. It doesn't feel scratchy at all. I thought it actually felt quite smooth for such a fine resultant nib, but you do hear the sound of it gliding across the page, as opposed to some like my Lamy 2000. You don't really even hear the nib on the paper, which is a bonus for some people and a negative for others. I really happen to love the way that Sailors feel in your hand and across the page. So if you do like a bit of feedback, and quite a bit of feedback, I would say, if you do like that feel and that sound, this is absolutely a great pen for you. But yeah, so that is my little review of and initial impression of my Dragon Palace. I do think that this is a really exciting pen to have in my collection, and I can't wait to, add it to the rotation. I think if this was helpful to you at all, please do consider liking the video. If you want, you could definitely subscribe. I'd love to see your name pop up on my feed. So, thanks as always for joining me. If you've made it all this way, especially, you are awesome. And with that, I'll close things out, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye-bye.